How much can you spend on staff, and how do you determine that? That is not a simple question. It depends on the model that you're using. If you hire freelancers and contractors, you don't contribute towards their taxes. You pay them as a contractor, meaning that they're responsible for their own taxes. And you pay them a flat fee or an hourly rate, and they handle everything else. And so that's a great model, especially if this is your first hire or an early hire. Using the contractor model works great. Over time, the more control you want to have over how they deliver the service or how they perform their job, you really need to make them an employee. They can be part-time or full-time, and there are laws governing how you can set that up. There are federal laws as well as state laws, so be sure to check your state workforce commission to make sure that you're in compliance. For those of you that have been in business for a long time, this isn't your first rodeo. You have a variety of different types of workers, perhaps contractors, full-time and part-time staff. And knowing how much you can spend is really based on your cash flow. You may have a lot of revenue coming in, but you may also have a lot of expenses, especially if you have staff. Because with full-time and part-time employees, you have to factor in the taxes that are your responsibility. And when you do that, you have a different calculation for managing your cash flow. It also depends on the timing of when you pay your employees, whether it's twice a month, whether it's every 2 weeks or the 15th and the 30th, whether it is once a month. However you configure the payroll also impacts your cash flow. So I recommend that you hire a payroll company for a variety of reasons. To me, it's almost a no-brainer because there are so many compliance issues around payroll that hiring a payroll company, or in some cases a PEO, which is a professional employer organization, can be very advantageous for small companies because you have someone who is an expert who's handling that compliance. When you have somebody else handling payroll and you don't have to worry about the compliance piece, they can also advise you on the best configuration for paying your employees. Then you can take that information, go back to your cash flow analysis, and start analyzing what makes sense from a cash standpoint. And that will help you determine how you're going to set up the payment for your employees. There are also a lot of good resources out there for comparing salaries and hourly rates and determining by geographic area what is the going rate for that role within your company. And it's difficult for small businesses to attract and keep employees because often we can't pay as high a salary or offer as robust benefits as a larger company. And so we have to build in a lot of other benefits and perks to attract them to come work for a small company. So that analysis is critical to understanding, so have an expert help you, a payroll company or a PEO or some expert. Your CPA may also be able to advise you on the best configuration for paying, and then look at your cash flow to plug in those numbers to see how it would affect you on a monthly basis going forward. And I help my clients by doing all of those analyses and helping them make those decisions so they don't get caught in a really terrible cash crunch partway through the month.